welcome, Opulence Nation. Welcome. This is your sister Rahma from Ottawa, Canada. Welcome, Opulence Nation. Welcome our product Crossfire and call. This is David O. David handles the regulatory affairs at Opulence Global. From his science and pharmaceutical background, David recognized the incredible our FERI flawless as an anti-aging product. His enthusiasm and continue with the fountain of life, which is the most powerful antioxidant from nature and the future development in our safe home revolution product. David is honored to be part of this incredible journey as Opulence Global changes the life. So basically, and David is responsible for our regulatory affairs. And if any question that you guys have, make sure you put in the Q&A section about our products, and David O will be happy to answer your questions.
There's a lot of ground that we want to cover. And there's a lot of things happening in the world right now, and I know that what's going on, like everybody else does. We all read the news and we all hear what's going on, but what's really important, I think, is to understand a few things that are happening that we can really impact. I've been watching some, and I sort of focus on products, rather than the politics right now, because I'm not a politician, nor can I affect that, and I feel sorry for a lot of things that are happening right around the world because there's a lot of innocent people, innocent children being affected, and I can only wish them all the best, and my prayers are always for them. However, having said that, I'm noticing a few things that are happening that I find disturbing, and one thing I notice is that there's been a big trend against pharmaceuticals and vaccines and all that, and I'm not here to push any agenda. But what is scaring, and everyone should be aware of this, and is that there are pandemics on the rise right now. There's just not one or two or three. There's a whole list. I went through a whole list of pandemics around the world that are forming. And whether they hit a global scale or not is, really up to up to nature at this point. And when it comes to viruses, and people say things like, well, can I take an antibiotic? I'm saying no, if it's a virus, it's not antibiotics. If it's bacterial, it'll be an antibiotic, but not for viruses. And that's why during COVID, we didn't take antibiotics. We had to do a number of things. But there's a few lessons from COVID that I think we could take away. Number one, we can, certainly wash our hands on a regular basis. I think that's important. We can, if we're in an area that's highly contagious, we don't have to think that, I wonder what this area contains. We should just protect ourselves naturally. And we have things like the microsilver spray that show very effective against the coronavirus. So it should be effective against a number of viruses and a lot of bacteria. So why not? If you're in an area that, poses certain higher risk factors, I would use that microsilver spray. I don't see why not. Why not protect yourself? Spray it on your mask if you're wearing a mask. If you're traveling right now, if you're flying in a plane, just take a bottle and spray the tray, spray the window, spray your seat. Just reduce the pathogen count. When you're in a plane, I always sit there and I go, oh man, someone's coughing or sneezing. Am I going to feel sick after a while? And sometimes you do. I don't know if that's psychosomatic or whatever, but I think that the power to spread germs is pretty good in a plane. But still we have the microsilver spray that could help. The microsilver spray, it was designed just for hard surfaces, okay? I think people feel that this is a perfect spray for the skin, for whatever. It was never designed that way. And the reason I stress that is not because it's not safe for the skin. It certainly is safe, but I think we should be aware that we have better products for the skin.
I agree. I
There
agree
are
here.
products. and one of the things that, like sterling was made for the skin. It moisturizes the skin. It doesn't dry the skin out. It protects the skin. The microsilver sprays, it says microsilver. Sterling has actually the extract and fountain of life in it too. So there's a number of things along with the emollients to keep our skin nice and moisturized. So there are purpose-built products out there that we have manufactured, and they are excellent products. And I like good products. That's one thing I do enjoy. And throughout my career in medical sales, the one thing I've learned really quickly, it was a very difficult lesson, is that the cheap products are simply that, they're cheap.
I
And there's a
agree.
reason that they're cheap because they don't do much. And they don't bring value. And when it comes down to your health is very valuable. Never underestimate that because when you're well, we tend to try and go for the cheapest product, but when you're sick, there's no amount of money that you won't spend to make yourself feel better. So to do this prophylactically to prevent something, use a decent product always. Whether it be a vitamin, one thing about vitamins in Canada, I got to say that our healthcare agency, Health Canada, looks after us, and the vitamins we sell here are of the highest quality always. And that's one thing about Divine. It meets the requirements of Health Canada. So I guarantee you that it meets some very stringent requirements. So I do have that faith because our government, Health Canada, can be very, very difficult to work with. And their approval process is not fun. It's not easy. I don't know how to describe them, but they could be draconian at times. But again, they believe that, that natural health products are, and there's a little number, an NPN number on certain products. Those are called natural health products, and they're graded just below that of a drug.
So
And that's why drugs have, what's that?
for our macro silver spray, if
Yeah.
you let's say for our new partners, if they spray it on their hands, they don't have to do like like every 4 hours, every like if you like for hand sanitizing, you have to every time you
Well,
have to apply it.
okay, number one, it's not a hand sanitizer. Okay, you cannot call it a hand sanitizer. Number one, it is a hard surface spray. It's not designed for the hands. This is what I'm trying to say. We have better products. If you want to put something on your hands, put something like Sterling on there. Or why? I'm just curious. Why would you spray? Okay, why would you spray a surface cleaner on your hands? Do you do that before? Like if you go to the store and you buy yourself something that you clean your counters on, and that cleans everything and disinfects whatever, do you spray it on your hands? Do you spray it on your face?
No, no,
Why would you not do that? Even if they say it's skin safe, would you do that?
definitely not.
I don't think anyone on this call would do that. Yet when they take a look at our microsilver spray, they go, "Oh, I'm going to spray it on my hands. I'm going to spray it on my kid's face." Please, we have better products for this, and that's what I'm trying to stress is that we do have better products. How long does the microsilver spray or anything last? Until you wash it off,
Okay,
because the silver particles do last on there.
that was
Okay,
my question. How long it lasted? If
it
you
will
spray,
last until you wash it off, and that's the beauty of it. And so I just I just want to stress the importance of that because I don't want people to start, doing things like when Fountain of Life started coming out, it so people like members started scaring the researchers. You know that?
okay, I
And you
didn't
know
know
why
that.
they were scaring them? Because they were saying, well, I got an earache. I'm going to put it in my ear. I'm going to put it up my nose because it's congested. I'm going to put it in my eyes because and my researchers were saying, please don't do this because we do not know the impact of that. And they were worried. They were actually worried that people might go blind or people might lose their sense of hearing because they're dropping fountain of life into their
Yeah,
ear canal, up their nose and in their eyes. And we had to get that stopped because we had no idea what to expect. And that's what I mean. There are limitations for everything, but please do not experiment on yourselves. Don't experiment. kids or your dogs or whatever, please use the way that it was designed. And you know what? You'll get great results. But, you know, members, I know they're trying to extend the value of a product, you know, and I appreciate that. But your health is important, and I stress how important that is because I don't want anyone to get injured. And, you know, the comeback always would be, well, no one told me not to do it. And that's the problem. So I have to come out and say, don't do this. Because if I don't say it, then there's a liability on the company's part, which is unfortunate. So I don't make any assumptions. And at first I did, but I found that that was a mistake. So thank goodness no one's been injured, no one's lost their eyesight, no one's lost their sense of smell or hearing. It's just that we did not know what to expect at that point, and it scared the researchers, so we asked them to stop. You need experiment. You have to actually have research and experiments, and they have to do it first on animals. They have to go through a lot of things before they get to that stage. And so there are ways we could do it, but they haven't done it. Okay.
Okay, got it.
Okay. Now, when we talk about though what's going on in the world right now,
Yeah, there's
we
a lot.
know that there's pandemics upcoming. What are and can you name any of the pandemics? Can anyone name the pandemics that we're worried about right now?
RSV, there's a RSV that
RSV is always there. Yep.
and yeah, influenza.
H5N1,
Okay.
that's the bird flu.
Yeah.
Just so you know, the nomenclature for the like H5N1 is, you know, it's done on the proteins and everything. That's why they came out with it. So there's a lot of them right now. But right now in the States, in Texas, they're looking at measles. I'm just shocked by that one. Measles in Texas, and it's spread to New Mexico.
Shingles too. There's a shingles at the
And, you know, you know that's from the virus that causes chickenpox. You know, all these things are starting to happen. And how can we protect ourselves when we got now the coronavirus? You know, COVID-19 unfortunately has created a wave of people that say that vaccines aren't safe. And I do understand the sentiment regarding COVID-19 because it was produced awfully fast. However, we do have vaccines out there that were very effective for years and proven. Now, having said that, because there's a lot of people aren't vaccinating themselves any longer, that means that there's a higher incidence and possibility of acquiring something. So how are we going to protect ourselves? Well, what is our best defense? Well, it's living a good lifestyle, right? Having a good lifestyle. That's eating properly, resting properly, and supplementing our diets properly. So when we take a look at that, so we have products, you know, and we're fortunate. We have two products in here.
yes.
We have Fountain of Life, and Fountain of Life is a wonderful product. And if you're new to this, it is an extract from the Norwegian spruce tree. And they discovered this, oh, quite a few years ago, a couple decades ago. And they found out the Norwegian spruce growing in northern Finland, when they removed the stem heartwood. They removed that during the process of making pulp and paper. And they used to just discard that and leave it on the ground. But some scientists recognized the fact that it never rotted. It never broke down. They couldn't understand it. So they conducted some research on it, found out it was a very, very high source of what they call lignans, and lignans are plant antioxidants. And they were shocked to see the level of lignans. It was the highest in nature. And these antioxidants help the tree survive. And so what happened at that stage is they extracted it. They went through this whole thing, and I saw the history of how they extracted this these lignans. And
Yeah.
when they extracted it, they weren't sure what to do with it. And it started out as an additive to sunscreens because they knew that, you know, the sun creates a lot of free radicals. They wanted to mop up the free radicals on the skin. So they started doing that in areas like Australia and New Zealand. what changed though was in 2012, I met the discoverer, the inventor, whatever you want to call him, the doctor who uh, had the extract and patented everything. And we had lunch together. And I asked him about this extract because he was out here promoting it. And he told me the story, and I've said this many times, and I'll say it again in case you knew that his friend, a close associate, uh, called him and said that he had terrible news that he was just diagnosed with spleen cancer, and that was given 2 weeks to live. And of course, the man was devastated by the news. They were talking, and he told them about. So this doctor said, "Well, why don't you try out this extract? I don't know if it'll help you, but it couldn't hurt. You got nothing else to lose." So he said, "Sure." So he took the extract that's in Fountain of Life. He started taking it, and to this day, he's still alive. And the thing is that they still diagnosed cancer there, but they're wondering if, and he said to me, perhaps we're discovering that we can live with cancer. We don't have to die from cancer. So there's a thought wave on that. And they're trying to explore it, but he does know that it did help his associate and friend. And he had a number of anecdotes. The problem was that, and I said, well, this is wonderful. I said, why don't you have it on the market? 2012. Why don't you have this on the market? He said, because no one will believe, no government will believe that you can eat a spruce tree. He says spruce is not a source of food. Until you could prove that, he says, we don't have anything. And so I said to him that if I had an opportunity to bring to market, I said, would you be interested? And he said, of course. And I said, well, let me work on this and let's see what happens. And it took a few years. And a few years later, the formulator of the FERI Flawless line of skincare, an incredibly bright man named Tom. Uh, he and I worked on a number of different projects together. And we're in Ramin's and Sanaz's offices, and we were talking about the products. And we said, do you know that we have an antioxidant uh, called Fountain of Life that you can actually ingest, and that there's some real health benefits to this. And we did have papers, like the doctors supplied us with papers on it, very poorly, poorly done. However, we thought we'd try it, and we showed Ramin and Sanaz. They both were sort of interested, and they said, "Well, let's explore this." And they tried it out. And they thought, "Well, there is something here." Uh, and that began our journey. It was around 2016, I think. Began our journey into actually creating Fountain of Life, and it was a struggle. We did prove to Health Canada that we had a product that was a supplement, that was an antioxidant. That's why we only say it's an antioxidant because Health Canada had no idea what Fountain of Life was. And as we've moved forward, we've got, if you go to the Facebook page, tons of testimonials to show the power of this product. And for the layperson reading, they'll go, well, it sounds a little hokey to us because they're saying, well, it's good for, diabetes type 2. It's good for cholesterol. It's anti-cancer. Or it's all these things. And it sounds a bit like snake oil, but I want to clarify this and make it a little easier for everyone to consume. The one thing to understand is that the root of many ailments, from osteoarthritis, moving forward, dementia, everything, the root of many of these things is free radical activity in the body causing oxidative stress, causing issues over the long term. For the majority of things, that's what's happening. And that's why it's a bit of a challenge because it's a long-term type of issue that is created from exposure to free radicals. And what are free radicals? Free radicals are molecules missing an electron, and that sounds innocuous, but what it is it's It's a molecule missing an electron, but what it's doing is it pulls an electron from a healthy cell when it bombards us. It's from pollution, pesticides, alcohol, smoking, stress. There's all sorts of sources of free radicals, and it's bombarding us constantly. And our body has natural defenses. We make glutathione, superoxide dismutase. We do have that, but over time, we're not as efficiently producing it. And as a result, these free radicals can damage us and lead to problems. And we have to be aware of these problems long term. And one thing lignans can do, the lignans and fountain of life can loan a free radical without itself become a free radical. So it's very effective that way and very efficient. And as a result of this, the people who have suffered from free radical activity in their body, overactive free radical activity, have seen marked changes. That was proven in a Biasiato study in 2018, and that was published in 2018 in the British Journal of Nutrition. And if anyone on this call who doesn't have this should check their back office because I was told it was there. It's a wonderful study, and it shows the impact of the 7-HMR lignin, 7-hydroxymethyresinol lignin, that is in fountain of life specifically, that has shown impact of lowering LDLs, lowering insulin resistance, lowering fat deposits on the liver, lowering visceral fat, and as a result, lowering the weight of the subjects. That was just a byproduct of it, okay?
Are you able to explain what's lignin for our new partners?
Lignans are plant antioxidants. Lignans are found in the cell walls of a plant. And so that's what we're getting now. These lignans are converted in our body to enterolactone, which is it's a mammalian type of lignin. It's an antioxidant, but that's a very powerful antioxidant. It's anti-cancer and anti-metastatic benefits to our body. And so we are very uh, fortunate to have this product because it is that powerful and it does is that impactful and it's shown there's many people that have benefited from the introduction of fountain of life. It's not an accident, but you have to be consistent. The one thing that I can't stress enough, if you take, you know, 2 drops of fountain of life a day, it's not going to do anything for you. You have to take enough to make it impactful. So we started out at 5 drops a day because we weren't sure, to be honest with you, at that beginning. From the research that we had from the doctors, they thought 5 drops, 1 drop for every 10 kilos of weight would be sufficient. But as time has gone on, they're looking at 30 drops per day as being, a standard of use. So I would recommend 30 drops. They think that 10 drops in the morning, 10 drops in the afternoon, and 10 drops in the evening are perfect to keep the enterolactone levels high enough in our body.
Instead of taking the whole 30 drops one time.
You can
I
do it 30 drops at one time. Yeah,
I
that's the way I do it. I don't have time to be fishing around at lunchtime and looking for it again in the evening. I don't do that. I take 30 drops at one time, and I know it spikes and then drops off spike. That's okay. I don't mind that. But if you want it to be consistent in enterolactone, you take 10, 10, and 10. Okay?
okay. Sometimes I take like full drop, half a dropper in the morning,
Yeah,
half a dropper at night.
yeah, that's
So
fine.
there's no toxicity level of fountain of life when you
No, there
can take it
isn't.
as you can. We can take as much as we want as long as our body can tolerate it, right?
Well, it's called biofeedback.
Okay.
You know, and it's just remember that biofeedback is really important in what we're doing. And in fact, I worked with a German doctor. Oh my gosh, can't remember. 2011, I was working with her. She was over here, and I talked about the European standards of medicine, and she's talking about biofeedback a lot and how important biofeedback is. And this is where this comes into play. So you take the amount that's going to make you feel best, right? Sometimes people will take more
When I when, when
than
I have
30 drops.
when I have the flu, I take full droppers. one drop in the morning, one at night when I'm getting
Mhm.
the flu and my asthma is acting up. So I increased it because
Yeah,
it helps
yeah.
me.
It does help a lot of people. You know, like I said, it's a very effective product. I just want people to understand that this is it is a really powerful antioxidant and it does a number of things. And if you're new and you go to Facebook page, I want to explain why people are seeing such good results, but also why you're seeing such a wide range of results. Why is it impacting so many different people? And you know, I've seen skeptics that go, "Well, look what they're pushing." Well, they're not listening. What they're saying is they've come to a conclusion is that first of all, they're lying. Well, no, we're not lying. You know, I've done the research myself. I've talked to doctors about this who've done the research, and I do understand exactly how this product interacts with our body and why it is valuable. You know, that's all I can say. But you know, it's good to be skeptical. It's good to question, but at the same time, it's good to have an open mind to see exactly what they're saying, and I think that's important. Now, you're going to get pushback, you know, but that's okay because there is value to this product. There are too many people. You know, Sinaz said they've had over 1 million bottles out there, and that tells me that it's not by accident. We didn't place 1 million bottles out there. There's a lot of people that use this on a regular basis because they are benefiting from the product. This is one of those outstanding products that you will find on the market, and it's very unique. And you know, I say it all the time, but I like you know the products that we do have. Okay, and I think
Yeah, I
that
love it. I love it too.
it's a good product. Now, sometimes people say one thing. People say, "Well, I'm going to place it on my skin or whatever." I want to remind people it's a very powerful product, and it can irritate the skin if you place it on. I say neat, but if you just place it on your skin, it could irritate the skin. And I'm not going to say it is going to irritate the skin, but it could. Um, its optimal level when you're using it topically is 5%. And what I mean is that if you have a skin cream that you like or you prefer, and say you get 100 mils of skin cream, you put 5 mils of Fountain of Life in there and mix it up. You've got the optimal solution for your skin. Okay. And
Amazing.
it will benefit from that. Your skin will look better. It'll feel better. It'll mop up free radicals. And what are free radicals doing? It's making our skin look bad. Okay, so just remember that free radicals age our skin. And so Fountain of Life does help that way. And for whatever reason, and I don't have the explanation yet, and I've talked to the doctors about this because I didn't quite understand it, is that for some reason, it seems to reduce pain topically, even on burns. And I can't quite I don't know how it affects us, to be honest with you. I've asked the doctor to explain it to me. They were investigating this, and they in true form, they have not come back to me with any explanation because we started going off on all sorts of tangents. However, having said that, it does seem, you know, if you get a burn and you place Fountain Life on there, I gotta tell you, you'll see a difference. And I don't know how it works and why it works. I wish I had a better explanation for you. It does some wonderful things, but if you have a burn, place it on there, you'll see a difference. The other thing it does that I was surprised about is scars.
Wow, I
If
know.
you have scars and you place it on a scar, you know what? It will change the texture of that scar. So some people have a tendency of developing keloids. I do know that. I know people have used it for that reason, and it has helped reduce the size of that keloid. So it does make, and it doesn't make a difference in terms of age. A lot of doctors, plastic surgeons, they use a silicone pad post-operatively. And there's a silicone pad. You know, I do know plastic surgeons that use silicone pads for breast augmentations to reduce the amount of scarring. And It does. The silicon seems to align the collagen matrix really well naturally. They're not sure of the mode of action as well, but they do use it a lot. But having said that, Fountain of Life can do even old scars and reduce the impact of those old scars. So it does have that ability. And yeah,
Amazing.
it just does a number of things well, and you'll discover that.
We have a lot of questions. Should we
Okay.
answer now or later at the
Sure.
end?
No, we can do it now. We can do some.
Okay, so let me go the first question. The question that Stephanie and Dennis asked is the Sterling hand cream act like a sanitizer, like Pearl?
Um, I said, no, it's not a hand sanitizer.
It's an act
Um,
like hand sanitizer.
you can't, I can't make a claim. The only reason I say that is that you got to be really careful when you're making, because it does not, it's not a sanitizer. And so, I what it does is it reduces, it will reduce bacterial levels on the skin. It's very effective that way, but it is not a hand sanitizer because hand sanitizers are a specific category of product and it has to meet certain criteria for it to be called a hand sanitizer. So we are not allowed to say that. And please don't say that because I'll have Health Canada calling on my door and asking for the test and asking for that. And they would look at something like Sterling and they will tell me that, by the way, it's a drug. And
Oh,
that will cause a lot of problems for everybody. So please, you can say that it cleanses bacteria from the hands, it's long lasting, it does a number of things very well, but calling it moisturizes, but calling it a hand sanitizer and saying it to the wrong person is not a good
okay.
thing because people will tell, and then that'll be a problem. Okay.
All right. So the next question the next person asked is Samia. She asked why some people gain weight and some people lose weight when they take Fountain of Life.
People gain weight because they eat more than what they're burning off. It's a simple calorie ratio. It has nothing to do with Fountain of Life. It has everything to do with their intaking. So this is not a weight loss product. But if you maintain a certain diet and you take it, you will. They said the subjects have lost weight, but if you start taking Final Life and some people start feeling better, you know, and they start eating more, then
Mhm.
the question is, it's that's all it is that your calorie intake exceeds the calorie burn that you're doing. That's what's happening.
Okay. Let me So another question about Fountain of Life is would Fountain of Life that Maria Brompton she asked, would Fountain of Life help teeth for cavities? Like would it help with cavities? Fountain of Life. Does it
Well, it helps with the pain. Um, Home for the cavities, we're talking about a whole different thing there, but
really?
it's not going to reverse them. Dental caries are dental caries. Our toothpaste works well in helping prevent, but if you got dental caries and you have actual cavities, well, you have to have a dental professional look after that. It's not going to reverse it. But it'll help reduce the amount of halitosis in the mouth. It'll help a lot of things, but it will help with the pain in the mouth as well. I do know that because it always been suggested as something to cleanse the mouth with, but in terms of it being something for to cure a problem or to reverse a problem, it won't help. Okay.
Okay. The next question about Fountain of Life that Samia asked is, can a cancer patient take Fountain of Life when taking immunotherapy?
No,
Okay.
absolutely not. And I'll tell you why. Because it might counter what is going on. You're taking a medication or you're taking chemotherapy, most likely for cancer. And I'm thinking it's probably chemotherapy maybe even radiation therapy, please do not take anything. Talk to your doctor about anything or when you can take it again because you do not want to protect your cancer cells. That's what it could potentially do is protect the cancer cells from the therapy that you're trying to. So don't put yourself through that. Please don't do that. Just let the doctors do their work and eliminate that and then help you get back on track. Okay.
Okay. So another question about Fountain of Life that Liz asked, her client asked her. She has a question with respect to Fountain of Life drops. She is somewhat skeptical about it. Might
Okay.
be willing to try the product. She asked me, so the client is asking her, in your opinion, you feel it would not interact with multiple medications and would it be of a significant benefit to my husband? How soon will he see results? So maybe this
Oh,
person
okay.
other
That's
medication.
a multi-layered question, number one.
So,
So for me to answer that properly, I don't know what the medications are.
yeah.
Okay, you got to talk to the doctor. I mean, in my opinion, I don't have an opinion that's of any value when someone's taking a medication. I do not know what you're taking. It's none of my business, and I'm not going to ask because, if you tell me the medications, I'll know what the health issue is, and that's private, and it should remain private. Okay, so the thing is that you talk to your doctor and say, "Can I take an antioxidant with this?" They say, "Well, what's the antioxidant?" If you say Fountain of Life, they'll go, I have no idea, don't take it. Tell them that you're taking flaxseed. Am I allowed to take flaxseed in my diet? Why is that? Because flaxseed metabolizes exactly the same as Fountain of Life in the body. Okay?
Okay.
So the doctors will know that. And if they say, well, hold it, well, no, no, this interacts with flaxseed, please don't do that. Okay? Then you know. So you have to find out, and please be aware that medications can be sensitive to antioxidants. And so that's all I can say is that please talk to your doctor about that. And then if you're cleared, if the doctor says, yeah, everything's fine, go ahead, use it. It's not going to affect anything. It could take up to 60 days for you to start. And again, I don't know what results you're looking for. That's the thing. It takes years. It could take 20, 30, 40 years to get to a certain level of discomfort or pain or illness. It's not going to correct itself in 1, 2, 3 days. You got to give your body a chance to acclimate to everything, and it's going to take 60 days for you to start seeing some changes in your body, whatever those changes might be. And you got to be very aware, and you should monitor that because again, it's really hard to tell, you know. And we forget, like I've got osteoarthritis. And I've had this for the longest time because I blew up my knee. And I'll be the first person to tell you that I keep forgetting the pain that I had at one time. But I do get it when I forget to take it. When I forget to take Fountain of Life for some reason, and I could feel the pain and just my knees grind. And so it takes me a long time to get back on track, but at the same time, that's when I remember. And someone says to me, well, how long did it take you to get, feel better? It does take some time. I can't remember. So if you monitor that, you'll have a better chance. Okay.
Since so another question about Fountain of Life that one of our partner asked. And so Dadu, sorry, I can't remember now. Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Some customers have reported urinating more frequently when taking FOL. Should they be concerned? What should we tell them to reassure them? So
I
someone
don't know
take
what's changed in their life that causes that. It's good for kidney health. It's good for liver health. Lignans are good for that. I don't think it's Fountain of Life that's really changed anything. The one thing that, I think you got to do deeper dive and talk to them. How do they feel? Have they changed anything in their life? Are they drinking more often? Are they staying up later? There's several factors in there that could be impacting it, but it will not. It's not a diuretic. And what I mean is that it doesn't cause an increased frequency of urination because you take it. You're taking 30 drops a day. Why would it increase that? It's not pulling moisture out of your body into your bladder. It's not doing that. So it's not the mode of action for this. So the answer is simply just find out, are you feeling better? Are you taking in more fluids as a result of feeling better? You know? What else has changed though? They're focusing on urination. Is there any other changes in their body? Why are they taking the product? I'm curious always as to if you're taking Fountain Life, this product here, why do you want to take it? There has to be a reason. And if they're taking it, I would ask, what are they seeing? What are the changes of the seeing? Oh, I don't feel as much pain in my knees any longer.
Okay, makes sense.
We got to ask these questions. It's hard. These are not easy questions to ask at times. So believe me, it's, because people are people, they're guarded about their health. So, um, yeah, be aware, but it's not a diuretic. It shouldn't have any. I would explain it to them and say, this is not designed, and we don't have reports of this of increased, voiding as a result of using it. There's no reason for it. However, it could be the result of lifestyle changes.
So there's another question just popped up uh, that Vital asked Flex, what is the reaction of FOL on lupus patients?
Well, we've had good results with it. If you look at the Fountain of Life Facebook page, um, people have we had some people with lupus doing very well with it. It's an autoimmune disorder. Um, and for whatever reason, lignans seem to be very impactful on many autoimmune issues. So again, I don't want to, this is not a medicine. We're not promoting a medicine. I want to be real clear because I worry about closing off the chat and finding out people are promoting, well, this is going to cure something. It's not going to cure anything. It doesn't cure it, but it will help people in terms of lowering some of the symptoms and give them some symptomatic relief, improving their quality of life. It does that because it is a powerful antioxidant. And if someone has lupus, lupus is quite, it could be, it's deadly. And so that's why I want to be very, very careful. Okay.
Renee just commented, my friend has a lupus and was on 3 to 4 drugs per day. Now she is no longer using drugs and her lupus is gone. Fountain of Life is not a cure for any disease or ailment, but simply a natural, most powerful plant antioxidant. So very powerful antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, and antimicrobial. So, all right. Okay. So you got Phillips that you have already a testimony on the chat. You can check that. So it was asking about a testimony on lupus. So Renee just gave a lupus testimony. All right. So another question, I think. Liz asked for clients who are on medication is if they choose to take FOL, wait for 1 hour or longer from time they took medication. So basically, how
Well, they have to first ask their doctor.
yeah, again,
I don't know what the medication's for,
I agree. Yeah.
right? So please have a discussion. I'm going to stress this really a lot. Well, we have the time tonight, but please talk to your doctor. Find out two things. Can I take an antioxidant? They're not familiar with Fountain of Life. Ask them, am I allowed to add flaxseed into my diet? If they say yes, ask them that question. Will it interact with the medication? And if so, when is the best time to take? You do not have to take Fountain of Life with any food. It is not necessary like a vitamin.
Yeah.
But please, please talk to your doctor because there's so many medications out there.
Yeah.
And my pharmaceutical life left me a long, long time ago. I am not up to date on pharmaceuticals. There's so many improvements, uh, so many better drugs out today than when I was involved in pharmaceuticals. Uh, I'm not a very good resource in terms of that. I understand pharmaceuticals from my background, but there are better pharmaceuticals out there now for different disease states. And I think that, the doctors are your pharmacist. If you don't want to talk to your doctor, ask your pharmacist. Same questions. You know, you got to ask these questions, but these questions are really important. Okay.
So fountain of life can be taken under the tongue. We can mix any drink that we're drinking, whether coffee, tea, and
Mhm.
smoothie, or we can add even if we're having our foods on top of our foods. There's
Yeah.
no limit of the ways we take fountain of life.
There's many ways of taking fountain of life as long as you take it and it's
Yeah.
done in one sitting.
Okay.
Like I say, you know, if you put 30 drops in a bottle of water and you're just sipping it over time, I don't know how effective that would be as opposed to taking it all at once.
Okay. The most effective way of taking it is under the tongue, and
It
or
gets into our bloodstream faster, but it's still converted into our lactone through our intestinal system. It arrives there eventually. So I had to figure that one out. That took a while because I thought for a long time that it was converted in plasma, and then I was corrected on that. Uh, but it does end up in our small intestine, where it's converted by the bacteria into enterolactone. And one thing about enterolactone is that it is the most powerful form of antioxidant in our body that we need. So please.
We have amazing testimony in the chat. Napapon. My name is Napon from Thailand team. I am 65 years old. My mother is 93 years old. I have been taking Fountain of Life for 3 years. My mother and I have high blood pressure, acid reflux, gastritis. I have pain in my knees and back. I haven't taken any medication from the doctor for 3 years. Wow, amazing. So this person, one of our partners, has been on Fountain of Life for 3 years, and he has different medical condition, and he has not been on any medication for 3 years. Amazing. Thanks for sharing the testimony, Napron. Amazing for about Fountain of
Yeah, thank you for,
Life.
that's good to hear. 93. Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah,
Uh,
amazing.
like I said, you got some good. I didn't even get over to Divine tonight, which I sort of hoping to do. That's why I started talking about state of healthcare right now. Because real quickly before I forget that there's some value investigating Divine because it will help boost the immune system. And right now, when I'm watching everything that's going on in the world, the number of pandemics that are ongoing, we have to support our immune system, you know, and that's why I didn't really get to it, and I apologize, but I want to make sure people do investigate for themselves Divine because it does have it has glutathione, it's got zinc. And these are two of the components that are really going to be interesting, and not just interesting, but really important for our immune system. And I would like people to investigate that further because right now I do not understand what is really going on in the world, and things happen so rapidly from day to day, and we have to find ways of protecting ourselves. I don't think we should sit back and just wait for things to happen. I think we should do this prophylactically and taking, Fountain of Life is one side. This is a great product, but I would look at Divine as another possibility as part of your regimen and combine the two. Okay.
All right. I take the two of them. I take Divine, one tablet in the morning and one around nighttime.
Hmm.
And because I have asthma, so when my residents are, and I work at a retirement home, when my residents are having flu symptoms, I end up taking like 3 tablets a day. I spread it out. I don't take it one time. So I take one morning, one nighttime, and one dinner time. So then,
I'm sorry I didn't get to Divine too much tonight, but I just wanted to throw that in as we end the call, that it is important that you take a look at your lifestyle and protect yourselves right now, because I don't know what to really think. I really don't, when I was at the CDC, Center for Disease Control in British Columbia, at a lecture, it scared the heck out of me years ago where they said the pandemic is coming. It hasn't happened. They were not predicting COVID. They were talking about the bird flu, to be honest with you. But I had lunch with the doctor who gave us a lecture. She gave me enough information to scare the poop out of me. Literally, like it just scared me the way she approached it. And I think that what we have to do is protect ourselves. We
yeah,
have
well,
to
agree with
protect
that.
ourselves.
Protect,
It,
gotta protect ourselves. Yeah.
you do have to protect ourselves, and we can't rely on There's no magical wand right now out there. I don't think there is. Because the flu virus, it does mutate really quickly. And it goes from one stage to another very quickly. And I did not know that in 2 weeks. 2 weeks, she was telling me that it has mutated from one area of a farm to another. She said,
Wow,
that's how fast it can happen. And
that's
so
great.
imagine if we created a vaccine today and 2 weeks later, they go, well, hold it, it's no good because it's mutated. And 2 weeks later, it's mutated again. Therefore, I said, well, what is our protection? And she goes, really, we don't have much. That's the part that scared me.
I
So,
can understand.
so that's why we have to look after ourselves, eat right, live right, supplement right, you
Uh,
know.
Great
Mm.
advice. Great advice. Yeah. Thank you,
Yeah,
sir.
I hope so. I gotta
Thank
live that
you.
life too.
Everybody's thankful. All the chats is blowing. Thank you for the amazing information, amazing, very informative, amazing call. And thank you guys for Opulence Nation for tuning in tonight.